Active Cypher's File Fortress is a revolutionary information leakage detection and prevention solution built to meet today's unique information security needs. The current business risk environment is more challenging than ever, and organizations must protect themselves from sophisticated external criminal activity as well as internal threats by accident or intent. File Fortress deploys quickly with a few simple steps, requires no administration, and does not alter the end user's workflow. We are going to acquire Active Cypher File Fortress from the Azure Marketplace. Click on Get It Now and allow Active Cypher File Fortress access to your client's tenant. And that begins the purchase process of creating the deployment into your tenant. Active Cypher File Fortress is not a platform. We do not host this. All of the File Fortress services get installed into your cloud, into your Azure tenant. After you fill out the contact information and perform the purchase of the license, you will then configure your account in your tenant in order to complete the purchase. You are now taken to the Active Cypher portal for activation of your subscription, where you enter in your user count, and this will activate the subscription behind the scenes, and it will begin to create a custom build for your domain. In that process, you will fill out company and contact information that is used to create your certificate server in Azure. And as part of examining the subscription services in Azure for your domain, if we detect unused modules such as Azure Information Protection, RMS, in your E3 or E5 subscription, we can actually deploy that and light that up. This next section is about downloading and installing the File Fortress setup packages from the portal, where unique binaries for your company are created. That is your deployment package. So after we fill out the forms, a custom binary is created that is your download link, and you have two packages. One is the Azure setup package, and the other is the file server deployment package. Once you click on the link, it will download the setup packages, and we will begin to walk through the Azure setup. And I have a network that's configured in Azure with a file server, domain controller, and workstation for the demonstration of installing the complete File Fortress on the server and workstation. So I am deploying now to Azure the services required to run File Fortress, and during this process we elevate our permissions to create security groups, resource groups, and we begin deploying SQL Server database, Azure Key Vault, storage services, RESTful web APIs, and all of this is configured into network security groups, and we de-escalate our privileges out from the Azure tenant after all of these services get deployed to your tenant. This is the resources that appear in your tenant: SQL Server, database, app services, storage accounts, Key Vault. Those are all the pieces that were deployed, configured, and now are running on behalf of your domain in your cloud, in your Azure tenant. Next, we are going to run the file server installation, in which you fill out the email address for your domain. This ties it into your installer. And then we're collecting information that's used for running the services on the file server, and that is the domain verification information. And now we recognize that there are security groups and shared folders on the server that need protecting. And once you confirm this, we'll begin to install the services and start them. The next step is the user agent is deployed as an MSI, can be pushed out centrally. I'm running it locally here. And during the installation process, it self-configures for that user, looks up and resolves all the necessary information about the domain, registers the machine, a certificate is registered on behalf of the identity and the machine, keys are brought down, and the program will then immediately begin decrypting files that are on the shared folder. In this example here, you can see the engineering folder is shared from the file server, and I'm just double-clicking on files, opening them. I can edit them, save them. There is no extra step that a user has to go through in order to make sure the files are secured, or any extra step that they have to do in order to decrypt the files. The user works as they normally would, and behind the scenes, all of the encryption, decryption, verification, validation is handled silently without the user involvement. Thank you very much for your time. This is Active Cypher's File Fortress.